homosexuality has been legal in the UK for 40 years. But to be gay is often still unacceptable in the black community.
Black people don't go on in them nasty ways there. That's just bringing shame on our race.
I want to find out why.
If someone called you gay, would you be really offended?
If I'm gay, I just pray to God I'm put down to death.
Is it the influence of Jamaican dancehall lyrics?
If it wasn't for the music and that now, yeah, I think no one here would, I don't think would have a problem with gays.
Or do other influences, such as religion and masculinity, play a part?
Just because you sleep with a man doesn't mean you're not masculine.
My family's Christian, so I'm against gay people.
My journey will take me to Jamaica, where it's dangerous and illegal to be gay.
He was taken from his house and murdered. His own house and murdered, yes.
To seek out the roots of the hatred.
If them really turn a batty boy, I shoot the bullet. You see me, I say?
In the hope of understanding what drives black homophobia in the UK.
Like in Jamaica, that's what they say, Batty Man must dead, innit? That's what they say, bruv. You get me? To me, Batty Man must dead, innit?
My name is Stephen K. Amos, the incredibly famous actor and comedian. But right now, I'm moonlighting for Channel 4 on a mission to lift the lid on homophobia in the black community. It's a big problem for us. My mission begins here in deepest, darkest South London with a very revealing social experiment.
We're going to be asking people as they walk by if they can spot the UK gay.
I've press-ganged a group of young men that are willing to hang around all day in the cold for next to nothing to help me. One of them is gay.
Right, I think we're ready to rumble. Let's go. Come over here, love. Ahmed, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, son. Guys, come through. Walk along that lineup and put your hand on the shoulder of the person you think happens to be gay. Okay, you've gone for him. Okay.
I think he is.
He may be gay.
For him? Is it the beard?
No, it's just the way you look. I don't know.
8 guys, 5 shades of black, and 3 hues of white. But the white guys just kept getting picked.
It looks gay.
It's kind of gay.
It looks kind of gay. You're wrong.
Despite the fact that all 3 were straight. Was it because being gay is only associated with being white?
Why did you pick him?
The way he's standing.
The way he's standing.
Better.
You've been picked, right?
Better times.
Loads of times, right? What do you think about that?
Rubbish.
To make things easier, I sidelined the white guys. Only our 5 shades of black are left now. But who is gay?
Put your hand on the shoulder of the one person you think is. This one. It's gay. It's gay. Pretty stiff on the back. Actually, no, him. You're looking at footwear for some reason. Okay. I think he's the one.
He is. None of them look gay.
None of them look. What does gay look like?
I don't know. It's not gay. Doesn't look like anything.
The one on the end?
Yeah.
What is it about? Was it his red hat?
Yeah, maybe wearing dress, trying to cover up something, I don't know.
Trying to cover up something? Everyone seems to be getting it wrong because, as we can see, gayness has no identity. You can't see it.
It's no surprise getting it wrong when you consider the reasons they give.
Because it was the cap.
The cap. So it's a hat.
Gay.
Maybe go for him.
Yeah.
His skin looks too soft.
Maybe just takes care of himself.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Or he might be gay.
Well, I said the guy with the hat.
Maybe that's just his individual style.
Well, it's probably because he's gay as well.
Yeah. Apparently it's all about the clothes and how you dress. Yeah. Gay people well dressed. Am I well dressed?
I don't know. You look normal. You're not
normal?
or anything.
So they're not normal?
No. That's not. No.
Straight.
Straight.
Oh,
straight.
All right. So wrong.
You're not overdressed or anything. Yeah. You're not trying to put the effort. So,
is there anyone here that you think is definitely not gay?
I think he's definitely not gay.
Definitely not. Okay.
Yeah, he looks a bit like a player.
A player.
I think he looks a bit like a bit of a womanizer, actually.
Bit of a womanizer?
I don't think number 2.
Going to number 2, why not?
I don't know, it looks like a bit of a ladies' man.
A ladies' man. We've had that quite a bit from the ladies.
Yeah.
To ask person who's gay to step out of the line.
can't believe it.
Womanizer?
Yeah.
Womanizer?
Oh my gosh.
Have you ever been a womanizer? No?
It's not something I've done before.
The strange thing is that the only guy that was gay got picked the least.
It's him.
Ah! Really? Oh my God! Oh my God, you're the most straight out of everyone! Ah! Do you usually dress like that?
He always
do?
dresses like that.
Oh my!
But doesn't it just prove that you just can't tell?
Saying stereotypical views. Nah, gone out the window, mate. Gone out the window.
Nice one.
I've learned two important things today. That it's almost impossible to randomly identify what gay looks like, and that being gay is just not associated with being black. I'm in Brixton, South London, performing a gig.
Very nice to meet you, pretty lady, pretty lady.
The audience is predominantly black.
Don't fight it, you want me.
They have no idea that I'm gay, and after the Croydon experiment, I now know they can't tell.
Who here's had a one-night stand? Look at you, lie. Have you had a one-night stand, you? Lie! And not one
For years, I had to hide my sexuality, fearful of being rejected by the black community.
Have you got a partner? Is she there? Oh, that's why you've never had a one-night stand.
In December 2005, a tragic event had a profound effect on me.
Basically, folks, last year, a friend of mine was killed, right, just for being gay. And I thought, what? It's 2006. Have we not learned anything?
His death inspired me not to feel ashamed of who I am and motivated me to create a one-man show built around coming out during each performance.
You know when you get to the traffic light, Pelican Crossing, right, and you press the button, and it goes, do, 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 yeah? I was stood at one of those once, right? An American stood next to me and said, excuse me, why is that noise? I went, it's for the blind people. And she went, oh my God, that's amazing. Because we don't let our blind people drive.
As my audiences are generally white, I haven't yet come out to my community.
Because I could see my life mapped out in front of me, folks.
But my journey into the causes and often devastating effects of black homophobia has motivated me to come out for the very first time tonight in front of this young black audience, whatever the consequences.
While in America, I discovered quite a few things. I discovered bagels. I discovered voguing. Remember voguing? I discovered I was attracted to men. Boys! When I mentioned that whole gay thing, the whole place was just engulfed with the sound of silence. Just out of interest, do you have any gay people in this room? Any? Look, not in Brixton, no. No, not here, no. When you're faced with resistance that was that strong, just body language, just a face, just there's a lot of tension and aggression in the room. I want to get some feedback from the young people.
I don't do that gay.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you have any gay friends?
No.
Do you not like gay people?
No.
Within the black community, you're less likely to be accepted by your family. If you're coming out and saying, yeah, I'm gay, you might not have a mum or dad again. You know what I'm saying? It's like the probability is you're going to be told, nah, you're not my son.
There are reasons why it's difficult for some gay people to be out, and those reasons have to do with the levels of homophobia within our community that doesn't allow them to be gay.
When we did say that is there any gay people in the room, there was a hushed silence because no one wanted to admit because we're in Brixton, and like if anyone says they're gay in Brixton, you never know, they might get stabbed outside.
Thanks a lot. Good night.
I like what you did tonight, man.
Cheers, man. Thanks a lot.
Great.
Oh, my God. That has got to be, without doubt, the toughest gig I think I've done for a very long time. When I asked if there were any gay people in the room, knowing there were gay people in the room, and nobody put their hand up, that made my heart sink, because that thing, be it fear, be it wanting to see what's going to happen, whatever you want to call it, that thing that makes you not go, I am, it's very sad. And there's a lot of stuff that I felt I couldn't say. Even I felt intimidated on the stage, to be honest. I felt that I was being really judged heavily. It was tough. It really was.
The atmosphere in Brixton was disheartening, but several miles away in Tooting, where I grew up, I was hoping that a younger generation would see things more positively.
They shouldn't have gay people on TV, gay people out on the road.
My family's Christian, so like I'm against gay people.
If my brother was gay, I'd disown him.
If my brother was gay, I'd disown him.
Just put them in a different country. All gays only in one country, get me? Just make a different country for them, innit? One side of the country made of women, one side of the country made of our men. The rest of them don't have children.
Black parents always show their children that, right, it's not that from day, innit? You see what I'm saying? So I don't really understand how black people are actually thinking, yeah, they can be gay, innit? I don't think that can actually run.
Black people are putting a shame on us. They're making us look bad.
They're making us not look black.
Give me 2 women, 2 gay women. I'll be perfectly fine with that. Don't give me 2 men. No. I don't like lesbians. But if you're giving me them in a room, I don't care.
To us, it's not homosexual, it's batty boys, isn't it? Like, Ross, the next man's bum, you're a batty boy, yeah? You bun that out from long.
If it wasn't for the music and that now, yeah, I think no one here would, like, I don't think we'd have a problem with gays because we've been brought up in this world to believe that gay is not right.
Batty Man this, Batty Man that. I hear it in songs.
Elephant Man. Just gay being Batty Man. Chichi man. Step on Chichi man. That's what Elephant Man says.
Tell the truth, boy, like in Jamaica, that's what they say, Batty Man was dead, innit? That's what they say, bruv. You get me? To me, Batty Man was dead, innit? Straight.
As a gay man, I was upset with what I'd heard and wanted some answers. The homophobic views of the Tooting youth were inspired by religion, masculinity, and ethnic pride.
Excuse me, have you got T.O.K. Chichi Man?
And reinforced by the music of their favourite Jamaican dancehall artists, such as T.O.K. and Elephant Man. I went to a specialist record store to hear some of the tracks.
I think one of the weirdest things about this kind of music is that it is very catchy. It is very much an anthem. People do sing it and get carried away with it.
Before hitting the shops, I'd done my research and had printed out a list of homophobic lyrics from various Jamaican dancehall artists.
Just give you a couple of lines from the chorus. We know like gay, we know like gay. Boom, boom. Batty boy, them fi dead. Burn out the chichi. Burn out. Burn him out of his house. Sodomite. Batty man forget assassination. Can we bun them and we run them? Assassination. That means killing somebody. Are we going back to the days of white hoods and burning crosses? What kind of message are you sending out to young people? And young people are impressionable. And as you've seen, that's what they're spouting out themselves. They're regurgitating what they've been told by their idols.
Their sanctioning and promotion of this hatred was unacceptable to me.
Excuse me, have you got We Know Like Gay by Elephant Man?
No, I'm sorry, we don't have that title in stock, I'm afraid.
Why not?
It's just not the sort of thing we carry.
Probably a good thing.
So, I decided to head to Jamaica for a showdown with dancehall's biggest star, Elephant Man.
Wicked! Yo, wow. They're on a mission, you know. Undercover mission, this special out.
Ah, Kingston, Jamaica. Glorious sunshine, most of the time. Scenery and reggae music make the island the leading tourist destination in the Caribbean.
So what a boom shot this, what a hit and not a miss. If a man want this, you will catch up in me fish. Snake in a grass, who are is when them crisp.
In the last few decades, the Jamaican music industry has fed back into black British culture through the highly influential reggae and dancehall music styles. The artists that make the records are recorded legend status, but many of these characters are infamous for being homophobic, as is mainstream Jamaican society. It was my first night in Jamaica, and I'd managed to snag a face-to-face with the biggest dancehall artist on the reggae scene.
Access granted. Boom, bam!
Elephant stirs up hatred in his young fans in London with his song We Know Like Gay.
Elephant man.
Just gay being Batty Man.
Step on chichi, man. That's what Elephant man said.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you too.
Look at you. You are
keeping it jiggy out and bad.
You are blinging like there's no tomorrow.
I braced myself for a homophobic outburst.
I got nothing against gay people. Do what you want to do. Live your life. It's your life. Alright? I can't come and tell you that whatever. So do what you want to do.
What the? What and who had made him change his mind?
As you probably are aware that there's been a whole hoo-ha in London about, you know, certain lyrics being anti-this, anti-that, anti-gay people. How did that affect you?
Well, it affected a lot because you see, like, somebody called Elephant and say, I got 20,000 US or 30,000 US for you per show. And I got like 3 shows. That's gonna be 60 grand right there. If it's 20-ish a piece, that's gonna be 60 grand right there. Right? And for me to know that certain thing make that gotta be cancelled, I'm not gonna go home and tell my kids that, yo, we gotta go beg people and all of that. So that hurt dancehall badly for like 1 whole year.
His lyrics had got him and other stars in deep trouble internationally.
Dancehall is fighting a battle between the society with the gays that's saying that they don't like what the dancehall artists are saying and whatever. So the companies in America and everybody come together and say, yo, just forget about all of this. We don't got to write songs about that, so everybody just forget about it. You see me?
And you're okay with that? You're
everybody
fine
got a freedom of speech. Of course I'm okay with that. Yeah, forget about it, you know? Forget about it.
As far as Elephant is concerned, the matter is now closed.
And you know I'll be coming to London soon, alright? Shiver.
I was hoping to surprise Elephant by telling him that I was gay, but I wasn't convinced that he had completely changed his ways, and I felt a little intimidated by his entourage. After a good night's sleep, I had time to reflect fully on what Elephant had said.
Meeting Elephant Man was quite a pivotal moment, because when he kind of said live and let live, and it's not let's forget about the past, let's move on, I was kind of really warming to him, going, oh, actually, yeah, maybe we're getting somewhere. And then for me, he kind of killed it by saying, you know, he's lost $20,000 per show of a number of shows he was going to do. Now, it's quite an eye-opener seeing what people will do when there are US dollar signs involved, because I would rather personally know where I stood with somebody. You tell me you hate me, that's fine. If you suddenly tell me you like me because it's going to make you money, that ain't cool.
To find out what the situation was really like for gay men in Jamaica, I realised that I had to talk to some.
I was wondering if we could meet up and have a chat. Yeah, I'm in Jamaica for a couple of days. It's really helpful.
I spent the afternoon trying to track down gay men that were willing to talk on camera. It was difficult. Homosexual acts are illegal on the island.
Yes, Stephen Amos.
Those caught are liable to be imprisoned and can serve up to 10 years inside with hard labour. But remarkably, after many dead ends, I managed to get a few to agree. Later that day, I headed off to an organisation that specialises in helping the island's beleaguered gays.
We have opted to plan a memorial service for Steve Harvey, who was brutally murdered last year, just about this time.
I caught Ian and his team at a difficult time as they planned a memorial service for a colleague they believe was murdered because he was gay.
Is the general tone that we would want?
Upbeat, nothing to bring us back to last year.
Hi there, Ian.
Hey, how are you?
Very good.
Welcome.
Thank
Good to
you.
have you.
Thank you for agreeing to see us. Brilliant.
More than welcome.
One of the reasons why I was very passionate about making this program is that somebody that I actually know personally was killed in a homophobic attack. And I was wondering, are there any recent incidences of any such things happening here in Jamaica?
Unfortunately, with much regularity. Regularly, men who are even suspected of being homosexual have been the victims of violence and have been murdered. And there's not sufficient disquiet about it at the top levels. So it passes off. Politicians, for instance, don't touch it because it doesn't allow them to win votes. It doesn't allow them to be popular, so they don't say anything, and many of these cases just fade into oblivion. So the message that it sends off is it's all right to kill somebody who you think is homosexual, and to be assured that you will get off.
Could you tell us what happened in the case of Stephen Harvey?
He was taken from his house and murdered, whereas some of the details are still sketchy and still unresolved. The fact is that he was murdered.
So he was actually taken from his house, his own house, and murdered?
Yes. Steve Harvey worked with this organization. It was his passion, it was his life. And anybody who works in this sector is at risk. And anybody who stands on a platform that says all persons, inclusive of homosexuals, should be treated with respect, and who advocates for the rights of all of these groups, all such persons are at risk.
Why is it so unacceptable, in a nutshell, in this society today?
I don't know that there's any one answer. I mean, I feel that people's manhood, the notion of manhood, is one that seems very threatened by homosexuality. You know, the general perception is that somebody who is homosexual is in some way, shape, or form not a man. People also feel, I feel that some men feel a sense of threat. The possibility that a man might make a pass at me, I think people think in their heads, is one of the most revolting experiences I could ever have. And so if it does happen, my instinctive reaction is to react violently.
I was devastated to hear that people were being killed and terrorized because of their sexual persuasion, and the notion that they were not men. I had arranged to meet and talk with a gay man in a club in downtown Kingston.
Who am I? The girls them lock, and I, we make love to precious. You a bubble get red deep like a bucket. Drop your niggle like your niggle can't stitch it. Drop your oxen like a cow you want.
But after hearing about gays being murdered, I wasn't surprised that he never showed up. But soon, it was me who would feel threatened. The thought that there were people in Jamaica who were willing to kill men because they were gay still weighed on my mind. The culture of hatred and threat was slowly beginning to get to me. But what happened next really shook me to the core. I ran into Ragga Band, the Heavy Steppers, who were shooting a video up in the hills.
From the voice of oath, the one and only, murder to the charge.
My producer thought it would be safer if I stayed in the car while he interviewed them.
Black people, if a black people be gay, that's really wrong, you see me? Must be man and woman, as me said, wrong in many ways still, because if be a Batty Man still, a dead, you go dead still, or straight bullet or gunshot or them things still, you see me? If one of my friends don't power with still switch and turn a fish. I tell you straight, that's one way me think for a man turn fish. You see me? 6 foot deep, you see me? If them really turn a batty boy, them can't see me and heal me, them can't friend me, them can't even walk near me, you see me? Much left here, look for me, you see me I say? Cause straight the bullet, you see me I say? We don't see them things in our class or in our league still, straight we I tell you, cause right now, a man to woman thing we deal with round here, you see me? Whole Jamaica, I know that. Certain man deal with them things still, but from a boy I deal with that, he have to go back door. When a man see him, no killer no see him, or no thug no see him. You see me? A straight bullet, you see me I say? DJ, I'm out, you see?
We travelled back into town where I was due to meet another gay man.
Oh no!
All sorts of thoughts went through my head. Was he just very late? Had he been attacked? Was I being set up? I waited over an hour. He never turned up. I had talked to 15 gay men on the phone, and one by one, they fell by the wayside. Perhaps the full impact of being completely out and on camera had dawned on them. But one young man really surprised me. Despite the potential risk to his life, he agreed to talk to me. I travelled to the other side of the island to meet him.
Being black and gay in Jamaica, it's hard work, I would have to say. There are times you have to hide because you are afraid to be who you are in public, because you might be killed or you might not get the help you need from those who love you.
We actually heard a story earlier on about a male couple who were in a hotel room and somebody told on them. So the police, as part of the punishment, marched them out of the hotel room naked down the street into the police station. When you hear stories of things like that, what makes you think you can survive in this community with that climate?
In the case where the two men were taken out of the hotel room, it's something that happens frequently here. You really have to be careful in that regard.
So, you obviously accept that there is a lot of homophobia within the Jamaican community. Where do you think that all comes from?
From the Bible and how persons were brought up in the society as well. The music has a lot to do with it.
What kind of music?
Dancehall and reggae music. There are singers who bash gay people through the music that they play.
Kevin's homosexuality was also at odds with his religious beliefs and Christian upbringing.
I thought that what I was doing was wrong, and I've prayed and I've prayed and I've prayed, and I'm still gay.
Would you pray to make you not be gay? Is that what you're saying?
Prayed that I'd be happy with who I am. Prayed that God would still love me no matter what.
Did you find the strength through prayer to come out and tell people, this is what I think I am?
I haven't come out yet, officially.
So what is the motivation for you in wanting to talk to us today?
If more gay people come out, then it will be a lot easier for the younger generation to be accepting of who they are, because there are other people who, quite frankly, are scared to death.
I was stunned by Kevin's bravery and that he'd prayed to come to terms with his sexuality.
Jam down, where people are dead at random. Political violence can't done. Pure ghosts and phantom. The youth them get blind by stardom. Now the king of kings are called.
Jamaica has more churches per person than anywhere in the world. Almost 10% are committed Seventh-day Adventists.
Good evening.
I travelled to meet some of these young Christians to hear whether they believe it's okay to damn gays by using the scriptures.
We've spoken to quite a few young black Jamaicans here who are in hiding in fear of their lives. If that person was to come in amongst you and want to be embraced, would that person be embraced?
I'm a pastor, and people come to me and say, Pastor, I have homosexual tendency. Then I said, Virgin, I don't see the way you see it. I don't accept the way you accept it. But remember that you have a brother in me, and I'm not going to kill you. And I'll defend you too. With somebody wanting, I'm going to defend you. I mean, I'm not going to defend what you stand for, but I defend you as my brother, as a human being. That's help.
When we say to help them, it is to help them to change that lifestyle towards the ideal lifestyle, which is the biblical standpoint, which is what we stand for.
The people who I've been speaking to in Jamaica who are hiding, do you honestly think that they have chosen to live this lifestyle, which is a threatening lifestyle?
Can I say, I certainly believe, in fact, and I can say this clearly, that my church teach that there are certain conditions that a parent can transfer to a child, certain addictions, certain inclinations, certain liking, so that a father that smokes, is an addicted smoker, can transfer that to the child. And thus a person can be born with a predisposition of homosexuality. Also, a person can, as a result of his environment, it's all around him, that's what he's used to, turn out to be an homosexual. I don't think that is choice. You understand? The person has that condition. However, I don't think it is genetical, and that's the difference. I don't think there's a gene that can be identified to say this is a homosexual gene. And therefore, if it's a condition, then it can be educated and can be changed.
The idea that my sexuality and that of other gays could be changed or reprogrammed really annoyed me. I needed to hear from a voice of authority. I chose the leading cleric on the island.
Would you not accept that somebody who is gay or lesbian in this society, clearly knowing that there's a lot of homophobia, a lot of stigma attached, the possibility of violence, that isn't something that you would choose to do?
Absolutely. You don't choose to do it. And therefore, this is the way they are. We've always held that a homosexual orientation is somehow or other disordered. The problem is that we have not found a way to reorder that orientation, because I'm not sure that there is evidence to say that people's sexual orientation can actually be changed.
From speaking to a lot of gay young Jamaicans, they also cite that a lot of hatred towards them comes from people, homophobes, who are actually citing and using the Bible as a benchmark, as a weapon in order to attack them. What is your position on that?
To use Christianity is a lie, and in many cases it's coming from areas that have a very, very limited understanding of the Bible. You can justify anything by taking out a particular verse in the Bible. As a matter of fact, I think the Bible was used to support apartheid, for example. I certainly would not be bashing homosexuals because they are homosexuals and not accepting people the way they are. That is totally contrary to our Christian faith.
The bishop's words were an uplifting end to a difficult trip. The depth of homophobia in Jamaica hit me hard. I simply couldn't be myself here.
I felt the sense that you still had to be wary all the time. You couldn't just go into an interview situation and go, listen, we want to talk about being gay. There was enough kind of aggression and enough kind of, no. There was enough of that to make it quite touch and go.
You found it difficult?
Yes, I found it very difficult. Yes.
While here in Jamaica, I barely came out as gay to anyone. But now it was time to head home and take on the issue of coming out in the UK. Back in England, where homosexuality has been legalised for 40 years, I wanted to put myself to the test by coming out to a group of young people. Face to face.
If I said to you, I was a gay black man, what would you say?
We're at a distance, innit? I don't know who you are, innit? You're just sitting in the seat. It's not a thing, innit? But if you're in a room with me and I'm just there and everyone's jamming and this guy's gay, but I'll feel uncomfortable, innit?
Okay, the question is, are you gay?
Yeah.
How long have you been gay for?
Well, how long have you known?
From when I can remember, to be honest. 5 years old, I can remember.
Their reactions were partly very encouraging.
Love is love. Like, happiness is happiness. And if that means being with another man, then that means being with another man. It's simple as that.
But not entirely.
I personally just see it as wrong, innit? That's just my views on the matter.
What, being gay is wrong?
I just don't think man is made for man, innit? That's just my personal...
There, based on what, though?
That's just me, innit? I just feel uncomfortable about it. That's what it is. I just see them and I think that's just a bit... Get me?
Nasty.
Yeah.
A bit wrong.
That's real, innit?
If someone called you gay, would you be really offended?
No, I can't be gay. That's just not in my nature to be gay. And if I'm gay, I just pray to God I'm put down to dead. I'd rather die if I'm gay.
You'd rather die?
Yeah. Because I can't see myself being gay.
Would you say that this program is trying to condone people being gay? As in say that it's a good thing and it's a right thing?
What this program is trying to do is open people's eyes to the fact that within our community there are different types of people, whether we like it or not. You might be Christian, you might be Muslim, we all have our different beliefs. However, the one fundamental belief is love and respect your fellow man. So what you do in your bedroom, which is none of my business, shouldn't affect me.
No. If I was their age, I would not want to come out for fear of rejection.
You just pull your hand away.
I'm cool, I'm comfortable.
No one wants to be the kid with no friends.
I'm cool.
For young black men, it's still hard to come out as gay. Some struggle to obscure their sexual identities in order not to be rejected. Perry, 25, and Olisa, 26, have hidden theirs since they were teens.
Was there anything that you ever did that you now regret in terms of denying your sexuality?
Where do I start? Like, as I said, before I come out, I was the, how can you put it, homophobic. I was gay in myself, but I was homophobic. I did not like gay people. You just don't want it. When you first realise that you're gay, you don't want to be gay. You can't accept it.
But if you think about it, within the black community, there is a sense of what is masculinity. You know, being a big man, being the baby father of 3 children. How do you rationalise who you are now?
Well, I'm going to say, what do you define as masculinity?
Yeah. I mean, I can say yeah, I'm masculine. You could look at me, Simone Road, yeah, I'm masculine. I'll take you down the rugby field and probably break your nose. Masculine. Yeah, I'm masculine.
But just because you sleep with a man doesn't mean you're not masculine.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's not taking nothing away from you. It's just your choice.
What is the difference between you and your friends from the black friends that you told you were gay and the white friends you told you were gay?
My black friends don't know I'm gay. I've never told them, like,
they probably won't talk.
They won't talk to me again. They all like, I don't want to know you. You're not my friend anymore. Like, you've hid it for too long. Like, if I knew when you was younger, I wouldn't have been your friend now. I don't know in myself if I could tell any of them. If any of them will actually say to me, Perry, you're my brethren, I don't care. I don't think any of them could actually say that.
Hiding one's sexuality from friends is one thing, but from family...
Here's the thing now. I haven't told my mum yet. Yet.
Yeah.
Because I know she'll friend
and if you was at school, she would have sent you to
I would
back
have
home.
been the first plane back to Nigeria.
Should have sent you back
first
home.
plane back to Nigeria.
To get it
There's
beat
no
out.
if, buts or maybes. First we're going to church first and then sent back to Nigeria. And say, yeah, you're back when you're 18, not looking at the tickets or the one-way ticket.
Something in you really wants to tell your mum. That's why you're appearing on this show.
Yes. This is a way of forcing me
to tell
my mum.
She's gonna find out.
I literally now have to tell her.
Later that night, he did. The next morning, Olisa called me and we arranged to meet.
So, here we are, Olisa. Yep. Catching up.
Yep.
And what happened?
Yeah, well, I did it. Came out to my mum. Hey! I know. But you know, even though I was scared, very, very scared. Because this is the only secret that I was holding from my mum. So basically, I waited till she was in bed. So she was calm and just chilled, just watching TV, ready for going to sleep. Okay. It's either now or never. And I told her everything, you know, about how I was growing up and okay. And then she stopped and she took her glasses off. And I was thinking, here we go. She's gonna go off on one. But she didn't. She was absolutely a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant mum.
What does it mean to you now?
Right, it basically means to me now, I really don't care what anyone thinks. As long as I've got the still approval from my mum. She may not like it, but I've told her, and she said, well, you're happy, you're safe, you're healthy. That's all my mother could ever ask for from a child.
Thankfully, he wasn't rejected. But sadly, young black men that are forced to look for love and affection in dangerous places. I arranged to meet one such man at my next gig. For now, I'm back to doing what I do best.
What about you, madam from Richmond? Have you met a black person before? Spoken to a black person? Oh dear, look. Well, I've got a dealer. Does that count?
Nathaniel, a young club promoter, was at the show.
While in Australia on that tour, I did a gig in a place called Townsville. I don't know if you've been. Anyone who's been, you'll know what I'm talking. Town, a place that's not sure if it's a town or a village. Town. People with dragging legs, big heads, one eye smaller than the other. Yo, give me 7. That kind of.
He'd had to leave home after he came out as gay.
No offence, right, but people from Essex still point at the moon.
I met up with him after the gig.
What did you have to do then, bearing in mind there was nobody in your immediate circles that you could talk to? What did you actually have to do?
I left the protection of my family, yeah, and thought I would find love, sympathy, caring. Like an idiot, yeah, I found refuge in this world of Soho, toilets, Pacific toilets for black guys. You get lost in that world, and that becomes your world. Your debts can get so low, and you can lose yourself. And, you know, they often say, like, you got to lose the plot to find it. But just imagine if you lose the plot and never find it.
There's a lot of young black people gay people who still don't feel there is support out there for them, so they've got to find a place to go where they think they feel safe.
You think a toilet is a place to go to find support? You think that's any sort of safe haven?
When a young gay man or woman is rejected by their family, the result is often a story like Nathaniel's. I was deeply concerned that many gay black young people may have to express their sexuality in secret and in places that are dangerous. The next evening, I met with Stefan, a young man that had to leave home once his parents knew he was gay. Together, we travelled to a notorious black gay cruising ground in North London, used by black men that have to conceal their true sexuality.
Is it really safe?
Well, that's kind of the point of it, because if they're doing it under the cover of darkness, no one can see them. Oh. Yeah, no one can see where they are, so they go find some place where no one can see them. Because if anybody did, they know they'd be in trouble.
I can't imagine myself going anywhere near this place. I mean, I'm black, yeah, and I will blend in, clearly, yeah. But it's, no. It's just something a bit, you know, a bit wrong about it for me.
Yeah. Some people do find that. So how the hell can you be going to sit in a park in the middle of the night? You don't know what kind of people is coming through there. They can want to rob you, kill you, whatever, and you're all hiding in places where they can do that to you.
Exactly. So I would be really quite fearful for any young black gay kids who are out there who think that this is the only option.
Well, sometimes it is, because they don't want. Sometimes they can't go onto the gay scene because they're too young. Yeah, so the only places they actually find to go are like parks, toilets, and whatever.
But what about the notion of gay bashing, homophobic attacks? Surely this is an open field, basically.
That's one of the dangers they take.
But is it worth that risk?
Well,
you're taking your life in your hands.
Yeah, you are taking your life in your hands, but if you figure out sometimes the sexual urge, it's like, I can't take this no more. If I can't find something, I need to go out and find something. I know where I can go and get this. I can go and get it now and I can go home. You know, that's when they start thinking less and less about the risk they're taking. Yeah, they're just thinking about, I need to hit this and go home. I need something quick now because I can't get it nowhere else. There's nowhere else I can find it. So I have to satisfy it somewhere.
But what if that leads to your murder?
It is a definite possibility, but they're not thinking about it.
I have a friend who was killed in a homophobic attack, and when I look at places like this, it just makes my skin crawl, because I think because society, and particularly the black community, haven't embraced the gay youngsters. They're forced into coming to places like this. And I think if you're putting your life on the line because of this, it can't be worth it.
Exactly what the parents have thrown them out for is that they've thrown them out because they don't want that life for them. Yeah, and exactly what they don't want for them, they're actually pushing their kids into it. Yeah, so if even the parents could understand, when you go and throw your child out for being gay, there is a lot of things that could happen to him that you actually don't want to happen. Yeah, a lot of little kids have got into trouble, they end up prostituting and whatever, and they don't want to get into that life. Yeah, they don't have to get into that life, but because of their situations, they've had to.
What Stefan had to say really angered me.
It seems to me that if as a community we are forcing young people to seek this out as an option, then we are doing them a huge disservice. We owe our kids far better than this, I think.
2 months later, I got the chance to see the almost completed programme. Watching it reminded me of the many arguments in the black community in favour of homophobia.
If my brother was gay, I'd disown him. If my brother was gay, I'd disown him.
And none of them stack up.
They're making us not look black.
The religious argument just doesn't wash.
To use Christianity is a lie.
Neither does the idea that being gay makes you less of a man.
I'll take it down the rugby field and probably take your masculine.
Or that it'll disappear if you make black gays feel they're not accepted.
Yeah, and exactly what they don't want for them, they're actually pushing their kids into it.
But fearing the homophobes is the one thing that drives homophobia and gives those that promote it their platform.
6 foot deep, isn't it?
The only way to dispel the fear is to face up to it. And that was the hardest lesson of all.
I thought I was a strong, ballsy comic with a lot of attitude and a lot of things to say. I never thought I'd have to regress into myself, which is what I found myself doing in Jamaica. There were certain situations that we were in that I couldn't express myself. And I don't owe anybody anything. I was denying myself. And meeting Kevin, who was a lot younger than me, who lives there, who expressed himself so eloquently, taught me a major lesson. That, hey, stand up and be counted. And I think as a result of that, the whole experience has made me stronger. I will now know that never ever will I deny who I am to anybody.
If you think you might be gay, lesbian or bisexual, visit channel4.com/gayteens for advice, video stories and quizzes.